All of you, please note down the problem. We were discussing about common source amplifier with source resistance the other day. Let's solve one simple problem based on that and move on to the next amplifier to analyze. Please write down the problem. So let's just repeat the exercise which we have done in common source amplifier to maintain VGS of 50 millivolts. VGS of 50 millivolts peak. Okay. When Vsig is increased, Vsig is increased to 0.2 volts. How can this be implemented? What is the value of RS? What should be the overall voltage gain, or what will be, you'd say, what will be the overall voltage gain and the peak value of the output signal. So this is the problem given. Let's just repeat the previous exercise. If you have it with you, you can see we had done this problem in common source amplifier without RS. In the last class, we have discussed what will be the effect of having a source resistance. We showed that the input impedance still remains infinity. The open circuit voltage gain will be less than the previous case. The open circuit voltage gain is almost the same as in previous case if RL is infinity. But what happens because of RS? Because of RS, I will get the open circuit voltage gain divided by this factor 1 plus GM RS. So if I did not have RS in the circuit, AVO value would have been just minus GM into RD. But because of having RS in the circuit, this open circuit voltage gain gets divided by that factor 1 plus GM RS. It gets reduced. Please remember this fact. Whenever there is a source resistance in the circuit, the open circuit voltage gain is reduced. And if you have a load resistance again, this AV dash will be different from AVO. But here, since we had not written any load resistance, we had just considered RD, we had not written any other load resistance. Therefore, AV dash was same as AVO and GV was also same as AVO in this case. And R out, the output impedance, was found equal to this resistance RD. So all this we have done. So let us just continue with this problem. Just to give you the values what we had in the previous problem, you just say given what and all was given. We had given ID as 0.25 milliamps. So all this was given. If you have the previous problem, you can take out and see. VOV was, if not, you just write down 0.25 volts. RD was 20 kilo ohm, VA 50 volts, RSig 100 kilo ohm, RL was given 20 kilo ohm. So all these values were given in the previous problem, and from all this, using all this, we showed that with VGS of 50 millivolts, V0 would be approximately minus 1 volt peak. So if I take 50 millivolts peak, here this VP stands for peak value. When I say peak value, remember we are talking of one side peak value. This is what I say is VGS peak. And accordingly, if this is 50 millivolts, okay, see this is the sine wave and one side peak value is 50 millivolts, then the output will be reverse direction and this peak value was minus 1 volt. That's what we mean. This we proved in the previous problem. Here he is asking us to repeat that, but look at the condition what he has specified. Have a look at this condition. He says the VGS should remain as 50 millivolts peak only, even if the signal generator voltage is raised to 0.2 volts. So here he is telling VGS should be different from Vsig. And how can this be made possible? In which case do we have VGS different from Vsig? Just now we had seen here, you can clearly see in this equation what we have written. VGS will be different from Vsig or Vi if we include a source resistance in the circuit. Only when an RS is included in the circuit, the applied signal generator voltage and the gate source voltage will be two different values. Please remember that. Okay. So you just say here, you say VGS is different from Vsig only when we include a resistor RS in the source. Okay, so if you include a resistance RS in the source terminal, then remember, so if there is a resistance here and the input signal is given here, this VGS what you have will be from gate to source here. So surely this voltage is different from whatever voltage we apply here, Vi. Vi and Vsig can be considered to be the same almost. Why can I consider Vi and Vsig to be the same? Always it's the same reason. Remember, because there is no voltage drop across this Rsig, right? You don't have any voltage drop. So Vi and Vsig, you say in the circuit, Vsig is equal to Vi as Ig is 0. Therefore, drop across Rsig will be 0. Okay. Now, by including this source resistance, we are going to get VGS to be less than Vsig. What he is telling in the problem is Vsig has been increased to 0.2, but still you design a circuit where VGS remains at 50 millivolts. Remember, for small signal operation, I need to work with low levels of gate source voltage or input voltage so that there is no distortion in the operation. So to maintain a lesser VGS in spite of increase in the signal generator voltage, it is possible if I include a source resistance in this circuit. Okay. So if you want, you can write its equivalent, small signal equivalent will be something like this. Vsig. Remember, we considered the T model. For replacing the MOSFET, we used the T model. In T model, if you remember, I have a resistance 1 by Gm between this gate and the source terminal. So this is the source terminal. And from source terminal to ground, I have the resistance Rs. And in the drain, I will have the dependent current source I as before, right? And this is where you will have the resistance RD. I'm writing the complete equivalent circuit. He has included RD and RL. So if I want to show this, let me just remove this. How does the circuit look? Here, the common source amplifier will have a drain resistance and it will have a load resistance RL, across which the output voltage V0 will be measured. It can have a coupling capacitance both on the input side. What time people enter the class? It can have a coupling capacitance on both sides here, as you can see. So this would be the equivalent circuit given. All the values are given. Now, when I replace the MOSFET with its small signal T model, this would be the equivalent after replacing MOSFET with its small signal T model. Now, please remember the voltage here to here is Vi, and this Vi is same as Vsig because drop across this is 0. There is no voltage drop across this resistance because the current coming here is also 0. Remember, no current flows through this, so no drop. So Vi and Vsig are one and the same. And what are we interested in? We are interested in finding the voltage between these two terminals, that is the gate and the source. Can you tell me the equation? Actually, we have done this in our analysis previously, but I wrote the complete circuit so that you can understand what we are trying to do. How would you write VGS in terms of Vi? Yes? VGS is overall voltage Vi into the resistance across which I am checking VGS, which is 1 by Gm, divided by the sum of resistors 1 by Gm plus Rs. Is that right? And remember, Vi and Vsig are same here. So I can replace this as Vsig by Gm in the numerator. And this is 1 plus Gm Rs by Gm in the denominator. If I cancel Gm in numerator and denominator, what are you left with? You are left with the equation VGS is equal to Vsig divided by 1 plus Gm Rs. Right? So what am I supposed to find here? Look at the problem. First he asks, how can I implement this? In the sense, how can I keep the reduced value of VGS in spite of increasing the signal generator voltage to 0.2? We have told that is possible by including a resistor Rs in the source terminal. So we have answered the first question. Next, he asks what is the value of Rs. So looking at this question itself, you'll be able to judge that you should include an Rs. Now, how do I find Rs here? For that, I have found the relationship between VGS and Vsig. We know VGS, we know Vsig, we know GM. We are supposed to find only Rs here. The only unknown is Rs. You say given ID is equal to 0.25 amps. Just now I told you in the last ID is 0.25 milliamps. VOV is 0.25 volts. This is 0.25 milliamps and VOV is 0.25 volts. So what was GM? We had already found this in the previous problem. You get 2ID by VOV. I think we had got it as, this is twice, right? Is it 2 milliampere per volt or 2 millimos? Okay, so we have got GM also. So can you find the value of Rs from this? Therefore, VGS is 50 millivolts. It should be retained. Vsig should be changed to 0.2 volts. 1 plus GM is 2 milli. Find Rs. Please tell me what is the value of source resistance, which will give you this condition. How much will it be?
1.5 kilo ohms.
Okay. 1.5 kilo ohm. Hence, you should get to include a resistance of 1.5 kilo ohms in the source terminal if you want to keep a reduced gate source voltage of 50 millivolts in spite of increasing the signal generator voltage to 0.2 volts. Okay, so this is the purpose of the problem. He says, we know that if I include a source resistance, the voltage which is coming between the gate and source will be less than the signal generator actual input voltage. And if I want to maintain 50 millivolts given 0.2 volts input, then I'll have to include a RS of 1.5K. That's what we have proved. And what's the next part of the question? What will be the overall voltage gain and peak output voltage? So we are supposed to find GV. I think you can find AV dash and AVO first. AVO and AV dash. Actually, we had found all this in the last problem. Can I just open the last problem and see rather than solving the whole thing? Yes. See here, for the same condition without RS, we have considered the same common source amplifier RDRL, but no RS, that's all. Just RS is missing. We got GM as 2 milli, R0 as 200K. Actually, here he has asked us to neglect R0. Even if we keep it is okay. So what did we get AVO as? AVO, we got it as minus GM into R0 parallel RD, which was so much. But in this case, when RS is there, what happens? Okay, it's not changing. Just a minute. I don't know why the screen is not changing. Okay, fine. It's taking its time. Okay. So, do you remember what will happen when an RS is there? Look at the expression for AVO we had just derived. V naught by Vi when RL is infinity. What do I get? Minus GM RD by 1 plus GM RS. Okay. Remember, we have not considered this small r naught here. Here also you can neglect it in the problem. It is 200K, so you can easily neglect. You just say, what is AVO? AVO will be what? Minus GM RD divided by 1 plus GM into RS. This is V naught by Vi when RL is infinity. Remember, already we have the complete. So what is the value of V naught if RL is not there? It is minus I into RD. We had already solved all this. If you don't remember, I'll just write here how very easily you can solve if you need not even remember. V naught is minus I into RD when RL is not there. It is this voltage. This is V naught. Correct? I is flowing downwards. And what is I? We considered I is the same current here. I was considered as this Vi divided by 1 by Gm plus Rs. Or I can write it as Vi into Gm by 1 plus Gm Rs. This is the value of I. And you substitute this I here, you'll get V naught is equal to minus Vi Gm Rd divided by 1 plus Gm Rs. Bring this Vi to the other side. Therefore, you'll get open circuit voltage gain is V naught by Vi, which is minus Gm Rd by 1 plus Gm Rs. See, all these steps we have done. But why I'm showing you again is it will be a revision and the fact that you need not remember the equation. Even if you don't remember, on the spot in 2 steps, you can get the final answer. So the open circuit voltage gain is the voltage gain when RL is removed. And it is given as minus GMRD by 1 plus GMRS in a common source amplifier which has a source resistance. Can you substitute and tell me how much will you get? Anybody has done? 2 milli. I think RD was 20 kilo ohm, right? 2 milli. RS, we got it as 1.5K. So what is AVO?
Minus 4.
Minus 4. Is that right?
No, minus 10.
Oh, minus 10. Okay. This was AVO. So what is AV dash? V naught by Vi when RL is not infinity. You can directly say AVO into RL by what? R naught, R out or R naught plus RL. If you want, you can find it out like this. Or in other words, it will be V naught by Vi when RL is not infinity. So what will happen to the V naught value in this circuit? V naught value, instead of having just RD here, it will have RD in parallel with RL. Yes or no? Very easily, all what I have to do is, I should include RD in parallel with RL in the numerator. No other change. You can do that directly. If not, you find R out. R out will be What will be the value of R out in this? We had found it. R out will be the resistance as seen by removing RL. So what will be the resistance seen here? We had shown this current source will be open. So these resistors will not have any value because they are in series with an open circuit. So the only value of R out what you see will be RD. Yes or no? It was proved in the previous class. R out is equal to RD. Please see this. So either you can write it like this. This will be RD plus RL, or you can simply say minus GM into RD parallel RL divided by 1 plus GM RS. All these values you know. Only instead of RD, you should consider RD parallel RL. Somebody has got the answer. No, AV dash and GV will be, sorry, AVO and AV dash will be different here. Find out this. You can either use this or this. You should be getting the same answer. Minus 2 milli. Here you have 20K in parallel with 20K. This would be how much? 10K. And 1 plus GM RS is same as before, no change. So I think it will be only half of your previous value. Will you get it as minus 5?
Yes, ma'am, minus 5.
Yeah, you can clearly see here, since RL and RD are equal, here also you see this will be 10 into 20K divided by 20K plus 20K, which will be half. So 10 by 2, this will be same thing we are getting here also. So this is the value of AV dash. Will GV be different in this? GV is V0 by V sig. Is V sig and Vi different here? V0 by V sig with RL included. RL not infinity. I can write this is same as V0 by Vi. Yes or no? Because I clearly told you V sig and Vi are equal. Here V sig and Vi are the same because there is no voltage drop across this resistance R sig. No current flows here. Ig is 0. So no voltage drop. Vi and the signal generator voltage are the same. If you see, we have already considered the ratio V0 by Vi when RL is not infinity, which is AV dash. So GV will be equal to AV dash, as you have mentioned, Aishwarya. So this will remain as minus 5. You can write volt per volt or just leave it. Now finally, what is asked in the question? Find the overall voltage gain, that is GV, we know, and peak value of V0. So what is V sig? V0 peak will be GV into V sig peak. What is the value of GV? Minus 5. And what is the peak value of the signal generator? 0.2 volts, right? So how much will this be? V sig was given as 0.2. See here. So since we know the overall voltage gain, I am just writing this the other way round. What is the value? Minus 1 volt, correct? 5 into 0.2 it will be. So the peak output voltage will be the voltage gain, overall voltage gain into peak signal generator voltage which you have applied. So if the signal generator voltage was 0.2 volts and the overall gain was minus 5, the peak output voltage will be minus 1 volt. So remember this, if you give peak input voltage of 0.2 volts, this is your Vsig, you will get peak output voltage of minus 1 volt. V0 will be like this. Reverse in direction, 180-degree phase shift between input and output. Please remember that. So when this is negative half cycle, this will be in positive. I haven't drawn it neatly. This is how it looks. Is this clear? Do you have any doubts with this? Please let me know if you have any doubts before going to the next circuit, which is, let me talk about the common drain amplifier. So we saw common source amplifier different ways. Next we'll see the common drain amplifier, also known as the source follower, another very important amplifier configuration known as the common drain amplifier. Okay, so this is another very important, let's say very commonly, not as common as common source, but still very commonly used amplifier. Okay, so let's try to analyze this circuit. Before actually analyzing this circuit, okay, so before going into details, let us try to analyze what is the need for this amplifier. Let us understand the need for this circuit. The most common application of this circuit is as a buffer. We'll say the most commonest application of this circuit is it is used as a buffer. Let's try to understand what is a buffer. So why do we need a buffer and what is it? Let's try to understand. Say, for example, I have a voltage source of 1 volt and I have its resistance, the signal generator resistance 1 mega, and I have directly connected it to a load resistance of 1 kilo ohm. Can you tell me what will be the value of voltage across this load now? What would be the value of V0? Will I get this 1 volt completely?
No, ma'am, the voltage across RL.
How much will you get? 1 meg plus 1 K. Can you tell me how much this will be? I think it will be approximately 1/10 of this 1 volt, because 1 K is almost 1/10 of, not even 1/10, even less than that. 1 K is 1/1000 of, will I get 1 milli?
Yes, ma'am,
Approximately. Yeah. So look at the fun of this circuit. You are interested in supplying a 1 volt signal to a load resistance of 1 K, but if you connect the signal generator, remember this whole thing is the signal generator. Please remember this always. This signal generator will supply a voltage. It will also have some internal resistance. So when you connect the signal generator to the load, you are going to get 1 millivolts even if you set the signal generator as 1 volt. Then what is the point in doing it? So even if you connect a signal generator of 1 volts, when you have directly connected such a signal generator to a load, you'll see because of the high resistance of the signal generator, the voltage which is supplied to the load has reduced to 1 millivolt, right? This is known as loading effect. You see, you say there is a drastic decrease in voltage supplied to the load because of high resistance of the signal generator. So what can I do to overcome this? How can I overcome this? You say this could be overcome by using a buffer circuit. So that is where a buffer comes into picture. What is this buffer? I'll show you. You connect this signal generator of 1 volt and internal resistance 1 mega ohm. This is R6 to the input side of the buffer, and the VI what you get here should still be 1 volt. You shouldn't have a decrease in the voltage. That is what is needed. How is that possible? Can you tell me under what condition it is possible? When will I get this 1 volt here? Even if this
When
is 1
voltage drop across R sig is 0.
Yeah, when can that be 0?
When I is 0.
How will I be 0? You're right. I
Input
should be,
impedance should be very high.
this should become infinity. It should be open here. Input impedance should be very high, means it's an open circuit here. If it is an open circuit, I will be 0 and the drop across this resistance will turn out to be 0. As simple as that. So you got the first condition which is needed in a buffer. See, this is called the buffer. The first condition that is needed in a buffer. The next condition which is needed in this buffer is what? I have given 1 volt at the output. I want the same 1 volt to appear at the load. So this buffer should have a voltage gain of 1. In the sense, it should simply pass on the input signal to the output side. Okay. So this buffer, the second requirement, you see the requirements of a buffer, you list. What is the first requirement? First one is its input impedance should be infinity. The second requirement, its voltage gain should be 1, so that what? Output follows the input. It should not make any changes in the output signal. That's why we call it as buffer. Output should simply follow the input. And so that's the second requirement. And the third requirement is, remember, since this circuit is an amplifier which has a voltage gain 1 and input impedance, remember every amplifier will have some output impedance also. So there will be some output impedance in an amplifier. If you have this as 1 volt, remember the voltage gain has generated 1 volt here, and this 1 volt should appear as V0. I should get V0 also as 1 volt, means what should happen to this resistance here?
R out should be low.
It should be
Less.
0.
0. Exactly. So the output impedance should be close to 0. Let me say input impedance should be tend to infinity or approximately equal to infinity. Output impedance should approximately tend to 0. Then output voltage will be equal to the input signal voltage or whatever AV, VI which we have here. So in an amplifier, this point is AV times VI. Okay. Remember, these are the ideal conditions of a buffer circuit. All these conditions are well met by a common drain amplifier, which is the most commonly used buffering circuit. So remember, the most common application of a common drain amplifier is as a buffer. And what is a buffer and how it is important, you're able to see here. Okay. So the best usage of a common drain amplifier is as a buffer. And we saw what should happen in a buffer. The loading effect should be avoided. So even if I want to connect a signal generator to a 1 kilo ohm resistor and get the input voltage 1 volt same across the load resistor, then I will insert a buffer in between the signal generator and the load. So what I'm doing, I'm just including a buffer. So this is your signal generator and this is your load. So you include one buffer circuit between your signal generator and load so that you will be able to match. You will be able to match and give the same amount of input voltage to appear across the load. Hope you understood what is a buffer. And we saw what should be the requirements of an ideal buffer. An ideal buffer should have very high or infinite input impedance. Practically, you should design one which will have what? So let me call this ideal buffer. So can you tell me practically what should I consider? At least practically the first condition, Rin should be very, very high. Second condition, AV should be approximately equal to 1. It can be slightly less also. Third condition, Rout should be as low as possible. So these are the three things which we try to obtain in a buffer circuit. Is that clear? So this buffer can be implemented using a common drain amplifier. So let us study this common drain amplifier. Let us draw the circuit and let us try to analyze. So as usual, we'll consider the simplified circuit where we haven't included biasing resistors and DC voltage sources. In a common drain amplifier, I should connect the load resistor at the source. This should be the and here you have the input signal and its resistance. Okay. And this is where we will see the input voltage VI. And then remember here the drain terminal should be the grounded terminal. So I should ground the drain, common drain amplifier it is. So the drain should have AC ground. So you can connect a DC voltage source, but remember it will act as short circuit. Even if I have VDD here, it will act like a short circuit for AC operation and it will be connected to ground. And the output voltage is measured from the source terminal to the ground. So this is the circuit of a common drain amplifier. Please make a note of this circuit. So where do I measure the input impedance? As usual, the input impedance is measured after the signal generator. This is where you measure Rin. Where do you measure the output impedance? The output impedance should be measured at the output terminals. Remember, this is the output terminal, but before the load resistance RL. So before including load resistance RL, you should be measuring the output impedance Rout. Input impedance should be measured after the signal generator, which includes both Vsig and Rsig. So this is our circuit. Now, can you tell me which model should I use for this MOSFET to analyze? Please notice that we have a resistance in the source terminal. Whenever you have a resistance in the source terminal, I told you one particular model is better suited. Which one is that? Yes? Which model did we use when we had RS?
T model.
T model. Since there is a resistance in the source terminal, you say since there is a resistance in the source terminal, T model should be used to replace the MOSFET. Do it. So write the small signal equivalent circuit. Hence, the small signal equivalent circuit is as follows. First, let me write the model here. From drain to, this is the gate. Sorry, what should I have there? Between drain and gate, I should have a dependent current source of value I. Remember, this I is nothing but Gm into VGS. Anyway, we'll just simply write it as I in the T model. And what else will I have in this region? Between gate and source, I will have a resistance 1 by Gm. So this is the source terminal. Now, this is the equivalent of the MOSFET. And remember, there is no current coming here. Ig is 0. This I which comes here flows here also. That's all. This is the replacement only for the MOSFET. This part is replaced with the T model. Now what should I do to the drain? I should connect the drain to the ground. This drain is grounded. In this circuit, whatever I have external, I should do it as it is. Now at the gate, I have a signal generator Vsig and its resistance Rsig. So here I should connect Rsig along with Vsig. Okay. And next, at the source, what do I have? I have a load resistance RL connected. between the source and the ground. Therefore, here let me connect a resistance RL between source and the ground. And if you notice, the output voltage is measured across this resistance. That is, between source and ground, we are going to measure the output voltage in this circuit. Okay. So this is the equivalent, small signal equivalent of the common drain amplifier. Once you have the small signal equivalent circuit of the common drain amplifier, let us mark all the voltages. Vi is the voltage between gate and ground on the input side, and the voltage from gate to source, this is VGS. Okay, and this is V0. This is the complete equivalent circuit. So can we find the input resistance first? Step 1, Rin. Where do I define Rin? At this point. What would be the value of input resistance? What is the current coming here? Vi by
0.
Ig, which is 0. So what will I get Rin as? Infinity. Like in all the cases before, Rin value turns out to be infinity here also. Please remember, this is the biggest advantage of MOSFET based amplifiers. Whenever we consider FET or MOSFET amplifiers, in all the cases, the input impedance will be infinity. If there is no biasing resistor, I have shown you the case if a biasing resistor is included, input impedance will be equivalent to the bias resistor. Because please remember, this bias resistor, if at all it is included, it will remain in parallel here. This will be your bias resistor. It will come in parallel. So if I check the resistance here, it will be infinity in parallel with this. Okay. So please remember, this is where we find Rin. So Rin turns out to be infinity here. Next, let us try to find the voltage gain AVO, V0 by Vi when RL is infinity. What happens if RL is infinity? Can I measure the voltage? How would I measure the voltage if RL is infinity here? V0 will be the voltage across an open circuit. So I won't be able to measure. You say can't be determined because V0 will tend to infinity if RL is infinity. This can't be determined. We can't. Yeah.
Ma'am, are we considering infinity has higher or lower, ma'am? Higher value or lower value, ma'am?
Infinity is always higher.
Okay.
Here, infinity means it is a very high value only. It is a high value which you cannot conceive. You can't think of it. That is infinity. So here, if this RL is not there, when I say RL is infinity, it means that I'm going to open this. If I open circuit this, it means there is a very high resistance here. Because current can't flow through that open circuit, it surely means that open circuit always means a very high resistance. And if I have that, how will I measure the voltage? I'll not be able to measure the voltage. So you just say can't be determined. Okay. Therefore, let's find AV dash directly here. Let us try to find AV dash because I need RL to find AV. What's the value of AV dash? V0 by Vi when RL is present in the circuit. Whenever there is RL present in the circuit, that we call as AV dash. Can you tell me how much will that be? What is the value of V naught in this circuit? What's the current flowing? I have I here, the same I flows here also. So can I say it is I into RL? Yes or no? The value of the output voltage here is I into RL. And can you tell me what is the value of input voltage VI in terms of the current I? See, VI is from gate to ground. From here to here, it is VI. And the current which starts here is I. It's the same current here, but the total resistance here is 1 by Gm plus RL. So what can I write VI as? Can I write it as I into 1 by Gm plus RL? Yes or no? Please ask if you have any doubt. See, I'm not doing anything extra here. I'm just considering the circuit, and clearly you see in this circuit, if the current I comes here, it has a series set of resistors. It's not branching anywhere. So the same current I will flow through this series resistors 1 by Gm as well as RL, right? And you are measuring the output voltage just across this RL. So it will be I into RL. And what about the sign? Since I flows downwards, this end, source end, will be positive when compared to the ground end. So it is in the same direction as to match how we are measuring the voltage V naught. So it will be positive here. The output voltage will be a positive voltage because current flows in the same direction as we are measuring the output voltage. Whereas in common source amplifier, current would always flow in the opposite direction. And we would measure V naught in the other direction. That's why you would get negative. Now coming to this, if you still find this difficult to conceive, you just apply KVL around this loop. What do you have there? See, you have a source VI, and here, let's say, just to write the KVL equation, only current here is I, and this is 1 by Gm and this is RL. So I'm just trying to measure the voltage across this as VI. It will be I into 1 by Gm plus RL. Okay. And this current is not supplied from VI, but it is coming from here. Anyway, wherever let the current come from. So that's why I can't write a closed loop. So this can be the way in which we represent. So finally, let me stop here. AV dash is equal to RL. If I take Gm to the numerator, or let me keep Gm here itself, by 1 by Gm plus RL, which is equal to, okay, call this equation 1. If AV naught with RL is equal to infinity needs to be found from 1, what do you get? Now from this, can I make RL as infinity and find AVO? It is AV dash when RL tends to infinity. Can you tell me what would this value be if you try to put RL as infinity? This turns out to be 1. This approaches the value 1, which is what is needed in this common drain amplifier. See, if at all RL should be infinity, if you want, you divide both numerator and denominator with RL, you will get 1 divided by 1 plus some small value, 1 by GM RL. So surely this turns out to be approximately 1. Okay. So we can find the open circuit voltage gain by considering the closed circuit voltage gain or voltage gain with RL and then substituting RL as infinity. But we can't find AVO first and then find AV dash like in other circuits. So please remember this. Let's continue tomorrow.